Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksh Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Antaranga Seva from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Antaranga Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Mataji, is this your first time, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, yeah, because the morning I observed it's a new name. Let us all welcome Antaranga Mataji by saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Give us your association regularly, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. I just got to know about your class yesterday.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radharani Devi Dasi from Baltimore. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. I hope you're feeling better.
I am. Thank you. Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees on the call. This is Anita from Sharjah. Tiffany Mataji, that's good to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
This is Kaumati Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kaumadiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranams to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Lalitangi Radha Devi Dasi from Toronto.
Hare Krishna, Lalitangi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanpriya Narmada Mataji, all Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Ghana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Mega from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Mataji. Today everybody was announcing there is a transcendental competition who is going to announce. I want everybody like this. It's so nice to hear all devotees. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shamagori Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji to you and everyone else. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. This is Manisha from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Manisha Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji has joined.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Pavaneshwar Prabhuji on the call to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavata Cosmology, session 12. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premapadaate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurapse Namah. E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees. Thank you for joining. So in the yesterday's class we discussed about who are all staying in Bhuvarloka and Bilasvarga. Bilasvarga, within the Bhumandala, there are 7 lower planetary systems: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala, like that. And then the Bilasvarga, we have seen that the 6th category of superhuman beings are residing. Pitrus and Sadhyas are residing in the moon planet. Gandharvas and Apsaras, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas are staying on the upper side of the sun, between the sun and moon. And between the sun and Bhumandala, we have seen that Rahu Ketu is there, Siddha, Charana, Siddhadaras, and Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhuta, Preta, Pishashas. So all these variety of beings are residing in those respective places. And different variety of the different category of Asuras and also the multi-hooded snakes, they are all residing in the lower planetary systems. So we briefly mentioned about it. And below them, we also have Hellish planetary systems, about which we discuss in the 26th chapter. So before that, in the 26th chapter, Bhagavatam talks about Lord Ananta. So Lord Ananta is considered to be an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a Shakti Avesh Avatara because he is endowed with Bhudharana Shakti. So currently, the one personality who is doing the service of carrying the entire Bhumandala upon his hoods is Shesha, who is the first son of Kadru and Venata. So if you remember yesterday, we discussed about that elaborate story, that debate between, bet between Kadru and Vinata, the two wives of Kashyapa, and then eventually Vinata lost the betting because of the Kadru's cheating propensity, and she became the maid servant of Vinata, and she was released by Garuda. So before this betting, when Kadru kind of requested her sons, Shesha protested. So this is not fair. You are not supposed to do like that. Then mother chastised him. He felt very bad. Later on, seeing all the events, that there is a tug of war between the sons of Vinata and the sons of Kadru, the snakes and Garuda became dire enemies. Shesha was not at all happy with the entire events. So then he went and performed austerities in order to please Brahma. In fact, he pleased Brahma, and he requested Brahma that please give me a blessing that let me have friendly disposition with all my co-brothers. Let me live with all of them in harmony. Then Brahma was very happy. He blessed him. Then Shesha asked, I want to do some service for you and for the Supreme Lord. Then Brahma requested him to go down below the Bhumandala and carry the entire weight of the Bhumandala. So that was the request of Lord Brahma. So following the request of Lord Brahma, that Shesha came down to Bhumandala, lower part of the Bhumandala, and kept the Bhumandala on one of his hoods. And since then, he is carrying the entire Bhumandala on one of his hoods. That was the whole idea. So his Shakti of Avatar is empowered by the Supreme Lord in a special way with the energy of Bhudharana Shakti. Just like Lord King Prithu is Palana Shakti, Kumaras are Jnana Shakti, Narada Muni is Bhakti Shakti, and Parashuram was Dushta Nashaka Shakti. These are all like Shakti of Avataras. So Shesha is also one of the category. When there is no one, when there is no Jiva who can do this service, then Lord himself performs this service for the benefit of all of us who are residing on the top of the Bhumandala. So in this chapter, the glories are mentioned about Lord Ananta. So in a way, they are all attributed to Supreme Lord Vishnu. So we don't have to worry that even though it is currently the Shakti Avashavatar, it is a Jiva Tattva, but still the prayers are meant for the Lord's empowerment. So in that way. He is the eldest son of Kashyapa and Kadru, and he is called Tamasi because Lord Sankarshana, who is the source of Shesha, is also the source of Lord Rudra, the destroyer. So Lord Rudra is a manifestation of Lord Sankarshana. So one interesting understanding is that how is that Lord Rudra is manifestation of Lord Sankarshana? The second quadruple, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Rudra, who are guarding over the entire Vaikuntha in 4 directions. That entire spiritual world, in connection to that, in 4 directions, the 4 quadruples are there. So in those places, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Rudra are situated in their guarding. And for the purpose of material creation, Sankarshana expands himself as Lord Karnodakshaya Vishnu, from whom the creation began. And Sankarshana, Pradyumna expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Aniruddha expands as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So that is how scriptures are mentioning. So out of the 4 of the second quadruple expansion, 3 of them expand into 3 Purusha avatars. And then from Sankarshana, when it was the right time for creation, the Prakriti appears in the form of Pradhana. And then Lord glances over that Prakriti and that Pradhana. So Lord's glance carries Kala, Karma, Subhava. That Kala is in between, that Kala transforms into Sadashiva. So whatever glance which came out of Lord Mahavishnu's eyes, that glance actually carries Kala, Karma, Subhava. But in between, that Kala transforms itself into Sadashiva. And that Sadashiva kind of interacts with Prakriti and then creates unlimited variety of material universes. That was the whole idea. And the same Sadashiva expands in the material world as 11 Rudras. So that's how. So Lord Sankarshana is the source of Rudra. And same Lord Sankarshana himself expands as Shesha. So that is also, this is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you remember, it is there. Lord Balaram expands into 5 features. First one is Sankarshana, then Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kyodakshaya Vishnu, and then Ananta. So that Sankarshana, original Sankarshana himself is Lakshman when Lord appears as Rama. He is Balramji when Lord appears as Krishna, and he is Anantashesh when Lord appears as Vishnu. So wherever Vishnu is there is Anantashesh, his bed, snake bed is there. That is Lord Vishnu. It is Vishnu Tattva. That is the Sankarshana himself. Same Sankarshana expands as Shesha in order to carry the entire weight of Bhumandala. So when there is no Jiva who can do this service, Lord himself does. When there is a Jiva, Lord empowers him with this potency known as Bhudharana Shakti. So that's how we have to see Lord Ananta or Lord Shesha like that. And Lord Sankarshana is the attractive principle between the object of enjoyment and the enjoyer. So he is called Sankarshana because he attracts the object of he attracts the enjoyer and the object of enjoyment. So this is also another principal activity that he performs. He is the attractive principle between different objects. Just like there is attraction between enjoyer and enjoyed, the object of enjoyment. Similarly, the Gurutvakarshana Shakti or the gravitational force about which we hear we study in our school texts, we talk about it always. It is also a manifestation of Lord Sankarshana's potency, which keeps two objects together, something like that. And then he is called Tamasi because he is the source of Rudra, the destroyer. The function of Lord Rudra is destruction, and that comes from the Supreme Lord only. And just like creation is an activity of mode of passion, maintenance is an activity of mode of goodness, destruction is an activity of mode of ignorance. And Lord Rudra's service is destruction. And his source, Sankarshana, is also called Tamasi because he himself expanding as Rudra and doing destruction. That's why he is called Tamasi. He is the present deity of Ahankara. So we have 4 subtle elements, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana. So the controlling deity of these 4 elements are, for mind it is Soma, for intelligence, mind, intelligence, it is Lord Brahma, for Ahankara it is Lord Rudra, for Chetana it is Vishnu. And these 4 elements also have preceding deities. For mind, for Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana, for mind it is Aniruddha, for intelligence it is Pradyumna, for Ahankara it is Sankarshana, and for Chitta it is Vasudeva. So like that. So he is the present deity of Ahankara. So if any person want to get rid of the ill effects of Ahankara, that Aham Mameti, me and mine, so one is recommended to worship Lord Sankarshana, so that one can become freed from the influence of Ahankara. That was the idea. So, as we just mentioned, the second quadruple expansion from that, Lord Sankarshana expands as the Shesha, the bed of Lord Vishnu. So here the bed which we discuss is actually Vishnu Tattva, completely Vishnu Tattva, 100% Vishnu Tattva is expansion of Lord Sankarshana, who is the expansion of Lord Balramji, something like that. And it is not he who is holding the entire Bhumandala. So he has nothing to do with holding the Bhumandala. That service will be given to somebody else and he will do it. If no one is there, he will expand into a different form and does that service. But he does not do both the services together, acting as the bed for Lord Vishnu as well as holding the entire Bhumandala and his hood. So whenever Krishna is there, he appears as Balramji, and he is the one who helped Vasudeva carrying Krishna to Gokul. Whenever Lord Ram is there, he appears as Lakshman. So something like that. But the same Lord, when it comes to the material world, expands as Shesha, and he holds the entire Bhumandala for the entire day of Brahma. But while holding, he is actually waiting so that the living entities will perform bhakti and go back home back to Godhead. When the living entities are not practicing bhakti and does not want to go back home back to Godhead, they want to continue in this material world. for life after life, he becomes angry. So when it is time for destruction, he becomes so angry. Some place it is said that he opens his mouth and produces a lot of fire, because of which entire universe is burnt. And the other place it is said that he becomes very angry. From that anger, from his Bhukuti appears the 11 Rudras as shown here. And these 11 Rudras will destroy the 14 planetary systems. That's how the destruction at the end of Brahma's day happens. So it is like that. So Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in this chapter, in each creation, the living entities are given a chance to close their business as conditioned souls. When they misuse this opportunity and do not go back to Godhead, Lord Sankarsana becomes angry. Then as he desires to destroy the entire creation, from between his two moving eyebrows appears three-eyed Rudra, composed of anger, with 11 expansions, carrying a raised trident. And by opening his third eye, every Rudra has third eye also, by opening the third eye, produces unlimited fire that will destroy all the living entities all over the universe. So that's how he gets the name Tamasi. He also plays an active role in the destruction of the universe at the end of Brahma's each day. He is the holder of the earth, Bhumandala. He carries the entire Bhumandala, which is he situated himself below the lower planetary systems. He is situated below Patala Loka, and he holds the entire Chitimandalam, entire Bhumandalam, on one of his 1,000 hoods, and he feels it to be like a white mustard seed. So though he is carrying the huge Bhumandala upon his hoods, but it appears to be like a white mustard seed. And he easily supports the entire Bhumandala for its continued existence. That means for the entire day of Brahma, so that the Bhumandala does not sink into Garbhodaka ocean. Thus, he is known as Sarvaloka Durandara. Since Bhumandala does not sink into Garbhodaka ocean, the 7 lower planet systems are also intact. And because Bhumandala people are intact, because of which the residents of Bhorloka and Swargaloka are also sustained, they are also maintained. So in that way, he is called as Sarvaloka Durandara. So in our famous ISKCON painting, we see that here is Shesha, who is holding our entire universe. So it is like this. The picture shows it like this, but actually it is not like that. Shesha has nothing to do with the entire universe. He actually holding the entire Bhumandala alone. He is inside the universe. He is located between the Bhumandala and Garbhodaka ocean, and there he is holding the entire Bhumandala. So this is a small correction required in this ISKCON famous painting of the universe. So because Bhagavatam, in this 5th canto, there are many verses very clearly mentioned that Shesha is not holding the entire universe. Instead, he is holding the Bhumandala only. So we'll see some references. There could be many more, but few references from this 5th canto. The current chapter, verse number 2. Yasyedam Shiti Mandalam Bhagavato Ananta Murte Sahasra Shirasha Ekasmin Eva Shirshni Dhriyamanam Siddhartha Ivalakshate. Lord Sankarsana consists of thousands of hoods. On one of his hood, Ekashirashni, he holds the entire Chiti Mandalam. Chiti Mandalam means, Chiti means earth. Chiti Mandala means Bhumandala. And he feels it like to be a Siddhartha. Siddhartha means white mustard seed. And then in 12th verse, Murdhni Arpitam Anuvat Sahasra Murdhno Bhugolam Sa Giri Sarit Samudra Sattvam. So the Lord, consisting of thousands of hoods, on one of his hood, he holds the entire Bhumandala. Bhugolam means Bhumandala, which appears to be like a atom, Anuvat. And this Bhumandala will consist of Sagiri, so many mountains, Sarit, water, streams and rivers, Samudra, oceans, so many oceans, Sattvam, so much variety of living entities. Consisting of all these things, the entire Bhumandala is held on one of the hoods of Lord Sankarsana. Mule Rasaya Sita Atma Tandryo Yolilaya Kshamam Ste Vivarti. Being situated below Rasatala Loka, that means below 7 lower planetary systems, below the entire Bhumandala, He holds the entire Kshama. Kshama means the entire Bhumandala, so that it can stay at one place. And few chapters before, in the 17th chapter, where the residents of Bharatavarsha, their leader Lord Shiva, that is one of the Rudra, is worshipping his source, Lord Sankarshana. So he offers prayers unto Lord Sankarshana. So this is one of the prayers, wherein he says that Na Veda Siddhartham Iva Kochit Stitam Bhumandalam Murdna Sahasradamshu. That Lord Sankarshana, who had thousands of heads, he is carrying the entire Bhumandala on one of his hood, and he does not even know it that he is holding it, because for him the entire Bhumandala appears to be like a Siddhartha Iva, like a white mustard seed, very small. And then later on in the 6th canto, Chitraketu Maharaj, following the instructions of Narad Muni when he performed severe austerities, when he had darshan of Lord Sankarshana, then he was offering prayers unto Lord Sankarshana. So this is one of the prayer, 1648. Bhumandalam sarsapayanti yasya murdni tasmai namo bhagavatostu sahasta murdne. Let me offer my respectable obeisances unto the Lord Sankarshana, who has thousands of hoods, and he is holding the entire Bhumandala on one of his hood, which appears to be like a sarsapayanti. Sarsapayanti also sarsu grain, the mustard seed. It appears to be like a mustard seed for Lord Sankarshana. So these are the various references that I remember. There could be many more. So all these references clearly say that Lord Sankarshana is actually holding the Bhumandala, not the entire universe. And that correction is required in the ISKCON painting. So many people reading this chapter make drawings, make figures, images like this. They say that, so of course this is Bhumandala consisting of different parts. They are the 7 lower planetary systems, and here is Garbhodaka ocean. And here in the Garbhodaka ocean there is Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and this is the bed of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Ananta Shesh, and he is holding the entire Bhumandala along with the 7 lower planetary systems. Like that they draw pictures, but this is wrong. This is not correct. And here we have our TOP animation. In that animation shows that here is Lord Sankarshana, who is holding the entire Bhumandala consisting of 7 Dvipa, 7 islands, etc. and 7 lower planetary systems also within that, and that entire thing is on his hood. And Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 8, it talks about the 4 Kumaras who are residing in Janaloka, just below Satyaloka, following the path of Ganga. They come all the way down to Patala Loka, and from there they come down below the Bhumandala. That is where they meet Lord Sankarshana, and they request Lord Sankarshana to speak the glories of Lord, Supreme Lord. Then that Lord Sankarshana speaks the entire Bhagavatam to 4 Kumaras. And later on those 4 Kumaras spoke the same Bhagavatam to Sankyana Rishi. Sankyana Rishi spoke the same Bhagavatam to Brahaspati, the preceptor of Devatas, and also Parashara Muni. And later on Parashara Muni speaks the same Bhagavatam to his son Vyasadeva, and is also to his disciple Maitreya. And later on, being requested by Vidura, Maitreya speaks the same Bhagavatam to Vidura. That Bhagavatam we read in 3rd canto and 4th canto. Starting from the 5th chapter of the 3rd canto till the end of the 4th canto, we see the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. But the complete conversation that took place between Maitreya and Parashara is recorded as Vishnu Purana. So just like Bhagavatam is the conversation between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, similarly Vishnu Purana is the conversation between Parashara Muni and Maitreya Rishi. So in that way, so that has got connection to this Lord Sankarshana. He is the one who actually spoke that Bhagavatam, and this parampara we can see it as Kumara Sampradaya. This is Kumara Sampradaya parampara. So like that. And in the 17th chapter, verse number 21, where our Lord Rudra in Bharatavarsha glorifying Lord Sankarshana, in that purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore writes these lines. So let us read through. He is called unlimited. That means Ananta. He is called Ananta because of his knowledge of the Tattvas. He is fully aware of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because of which he could speak to the four Kumaras. So it's like that. Speaking to four Kumaras means not ordinary. They are the direct Manasaputras of Lord Brahma. And he is called unlimited because of his knowledge of the tattvas. He does not know the universe. He does not know the universe. The universe means actually the entire Bhumandala. He does not know the Bhumandala, which is situated somewhere on one of his hoods, because he is situated below the Bhumandala, measuring 493.4 million yojanas. According to Bhagavatam, we came to this number. After that, there is a free space of 3.4 or something like that around it. So something like that. So his hoods are not wide enough to hold it. If Bhumandala is so big, how can Lord Shesha, who is situated below the Bhumandala, can hold the entire Bhumandala? Such kind of question might come. And all the previous shlokas mentioned that the Bhumandala for Shesha appears to be like a mustard seed. So something like that. Because all these shlokas of Bhagavatam says that it is mustard seed, and in the translation, Prabhupada translates that all of them are universe. So for all these verses, translations, if you see, in every translation, Prabhupada says it as universe. So that is the reason. So we have got painting like this, because Prabhupada clearly says that, clearly writes that he's holding the entire universe, and which appears to be like a white mustard seed. The universe also looks like the mustard seed and the atom. So it is very much correlating. So like that, it is written, it is drawn like that. But the understanding is, so Lord Ananta does not know that with the Bhumandala, which is situated somewhere on one of his hoods, because he is situated below the Bhumandala, measuring 493.4 million yojanas. His hoods are not wide enough to hold it. From a practical point of view, his hoods are small. He is small, situated below the Bhumandala. Somewhere like this. This is the Bhumandala, and is somewhere in the below and holding the Bhumandala. He is not very big that the Bhumandala becomes a atom. Because immediately after the Bhumandala, there comes the universal shell. So it is not practical. However, person situated there can see that by his inconceivable energy, his hoods become unlimited in dimension, and thus Bhumandala appears like a mustard seed. That is actual, not an illusion. This is an example of his astonishing unlimited nature just mentioned. Lord is called Ananta. So by his mystic potency, he expands so big, the Bhumandala does not change its size, but it appears to be like a small atom in comparison to Lord Ananta. That is the greatness of Lord Ananta. If at all one wants to verify, one should go there and see it, not debating staying here itself. So it is like that. However, person situated there can see it. One who goes there can see it, not by staying here itself. Something like that. So that was about Shesha holding the entire Bhumandala, but not the universe. Different references. And then the small anecdote which I mentioned, that is actually for Mahabharata, where when he had the audience of Lord Brahma, their conversation is like this. This is mentioned in the Mahabharata. So Brahma says, "O Shesha, I am highly pleased with your self-denial and love of peace among all your stepbrothers. By my command, let the following act be done by you for the welfare of all creatures." So then Brahma says, "You must bear this unsteady earth, which time and again falling down into Bharatavarsha ocean, with all its mountains, forests, seas, mineral reservoirs, and cities. Arise, please get up, O Shesha, and hold this entire Bhumandala in place, so that life be not disturbed. So that Bhumandala will stay intact, and people on top of the Bhumandala can continue their activities. Otherwise, the Bhumandala might again fall into Bharatavarsha ocean. Like that, Lord Brahma is instructing Shesha. So these are the verses from Mahabharata, Adi Parva, chapter 36. So then Shesha says, "O divine Lord of all creatures, O granter of the boons, O Lord of the earth, O Lord of every created thing, O Lord of the universe, I shall hold the Bhumandala steady as you command. O Prajapati, kindly place the Bhumandala upon my head." Then Suta Goswami says, "In obedience to Brahma's command, the elder brother of the king of snakes, the elder brother of Vasuki, entering into a hole, went to the other side of the Bhumandala and he held that goddess, Mother Earth, the Bhumandala, upon his head with her belt of seas all around her. So that's how Shesha went down and holding the Bhumandala by the request of Lord Brahma, and he continues to hold this Bhumandala. So that time we hear generally in Bhagavad Kathas that Lord Shesha asked Brahmaji, how long should I hold it? So Brahmaji says that you go there, hold the Bhumandala and discuss or describe Lord's glories, continue to chant Lord's glories. When you come to the end of the glories of the Supreme Lord, then you stop holding the Bhumandala, then give up the Bhumandala and come up. So Shesha currently holding the Bhumandala and chanting the glories of Lord Vishnu. When the glories come to end, that means that is the time of Pralaya. So something like that. Then the Bhumandala falls into Garbhodaka ocean. So these are all the few details from 25th chapter about Lord Shesha, who is the holder of the entire Bhumandala for its continued existence. Then the 26th chapter, which talks about Hellish planetary systems. But within this Hellish planetary system, there is a Pitruloka, so which is the residence of the Pitrus known as Agishvattas. They reside here. So the Agishvatta Pitrus reside beneath the 7 lower planetary systems, and they constantly desire virtual blessings for the people who are born in their lineages. And here, Yamaraja, who is the son of Vivashwan, son of Sun God, he is the king of these Agishvatta Pitrus. And Yamaraja, staying here, acting as the king of the Pitrus, awards unavoidable punishment for the sin committed by the resident of Bharatavarsha. So that by giving them punishment, he makes the jivas turn toward the Supreme Lord. That was the whole idea. And this particular place, this Pitruloka, where the Agishvattas are residing, it is situated 19,000 yojanas below the Bharatakanda. Here earth refers to the upper surface of the Bhumandala, specifically Bharatakanda or Bharatavarsha, where we are staying. Yojananam Sahasrani Navatim Nava Chadvana. Tribir Muhurter Dwabhyam Vanita Papnoti Yatna. Basically, this is in the 3rd canto, 30th chapter, 24th verse. Talks about the distance between those two. So when a person dies, so the jiva along with the subtle body is brought to this abode of Yamaraj, the court of Yamaraj. That is where they are kind of judged for their pious activities and impious activities, and Yamaraja gives them choice, which one you want first. So they generally accept whichever is less. So accordingly they go through. For their sinful activity, they will be sent to different hellish planets, and they will go through punishment. So here, the same place, there are hellish planetary systems also. They are situated in the intermediate space between the 3 planetary systems and Garbhodaka ocean. That means the hellish planetary systems are located below Bhuloka, which includes the 7 lower planetary systems also, and just above Garbhodaka ocean, on the southern side of the universe, situated beneath the 7 lower planetary systems and slightly above Garbhodaka ocean. Antaral evatri jagatyastu dishi dakshinasyam adastad bhumer uparistad cha jalad. So they are situated below the Bhumandala, consisting of 7 lower planetary systems also, and little above the Garbhodaka ocean. Jalad refers to Garbhodaka ocean. So they are situated 19,000 yojanas below the surface of the Bhumandala. Yojananam Sahasrani Navatim Navachadvana. Tribir Muhurter Dwarbhyam Vanita Prapnoti Yatana. So when a person dies, within 2 to 3 muhurtas or 2 plus 3, 5 muhurtas, the dead person is brought here to the Yamaloka. So something like that. Having obtained Yatana Deha and go through different kinds of miseries. So for the sinful activities performed by different living entities, these are the various kinds of sinful punishments will be awarded in this hellish planetary systems. So what is the reason? What is the understanding of the hellish planetary systems and the punishment? In this chapter, it is mentioned that we perform actions based on our faith in 3 gunas. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. We develop faith according to activity that we perform in 3 different modes. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. So because we have developed a particular belief system or faith, according to the gunas we cultivate, and we perform activities which are generally categorized as dharmic activities and adharmic activities. So people in the mode of ignorance generally perform adharmic activities, sinful activities. In the mode of goodness, they perform pious activities. In the mode of passion, sometimes dharmic activities, sometimes adharmic activities, both will go on. Because of those activities, one's destiny is determined. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, Lord Krishna says, Urdhvam gachanti satvasta. Those people perform activities in the mode of goodness, which are known as dharmic activities. They will be promoted to heaven. And Madhye tishtanti rajasa. Those people who perform activities in the mode of passion, which are called as both dharmic and adharmic, they will take birth among the humans and continue to perform material activities going through happiness and suffering. And those people who perform activities in the mode of ignorance, which are known as sinful activities, Jaganna Guna Vrittisya Ado Gachanti Tamasa. They will be promoted to hellish planetary systems. If they are too envious of the Supreme Lord, they will become asuras and continue their mischievous activities, something like that, we can say, if they want. So, why would people perform adharmic activities? And why would they take shelter of mode of ignorance? That is due to beginningless ignorance. Because we have forgotten what is our real identity, who we really are. Jivera Swarupai Krishna Nitidas, Mamai Vamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. So this understanding we have forgotten. And since we identify with the material body in the ignorance specifically, we are only interested in the satisfaction of the body, senses and mind. So somehow or other, one person want to get the happiness of the body, mind and body, senses and mind. So one takes on to sinful activities. So that is because of ignorance of our original identity and our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We perform sinful activities. And hellish planetary systems and the different punishments that are awarded in all these hellish planetary systems are nothing but the transformations of our sinful desires. First, there is a desire. In order to fulfill the desire, we perform sinful activity. And that activity may give temporary enjoyment, but eventually it will give huge sinful reaction in the form of hellish punishment. So everything is due to desire only, due to the material desire. Tri gunatvat kartuhu shraddaya karma gataya prutak vida sarva eva sarvasya tatamyena bhavanti. So basically, based on our faith in three modes, we perform activities which are known as differently, dharmic, adharmic and mixed. Accordingly, we get destinations, variety of destinations. Thus, so we can have hundreds, thousands, millions and billions of desires. And every sinful desire of ours will create a hellish planet for us. A kind of hellish punishment for us. So hellish planet systems are not created originally. We are only creating by our sinful desires, by our sinful activities. We are creating our own hell. So it is like that. Because of our hundreds and thousands of material sinful desires, we are creating hundreds and thousands of hellish planetary systems. Out of them, 28 are very prominent. And their names are mentioned in the 26th chapter. And by doing what kind of sin, to which kind of hellish planet system one goes, and what kind of punishment one goes through, all these things are very graphically mentioned in the 26th chapter. And those who are interested, you can go through all these 28 verses. One verse talks about one hellish planetary systems. So very graphically they are explained. So one need to have a lot of courage also to go through. So it is like that. So then, the hellish planetary systems are located just below Patala Loka and below that Bhumandala ends. And Bhumandala is held by Lord Shesha. And Lord Shesha takes support of Kurma. And Kurma is floating in the Garbhodaka ocean. Bhagavatam 2nd Canto chapter 10 says that Garbhodaka ocean is created by Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu sweat. When Garbhodakshaya Vishnu entered into our universe, there was nothing inside, a dark, empty universal egg. So he wanted to take some rest. Then from his own transcendental body, he creates water. It is called as Suchi, pure water. And that water filled the lower half of the universe. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu entered into that water, which is known as Garbhodaka ocean, and takes rest. Eventually, after some time, from his navel comes lotus flower, and on top of that, Lord Brahma appears, and Brahma divides that lotus flower into 14 planetary systems. So all those different details. So then, this Garbhodaka ocean is occupying the lower half of the universe. As we go downward below the Garbhodaka ocean, we come to the universe's end. So that is where the 7 layers of the universe we can see on the bottom side. That is where Garbhodaka ocean ends. And so this is located at the distance of 250 million yojanas from sun planet. So this is how everything below is indicated. So starting from Patala Loka, Pitraloka is located at a distance of 10,000 yojanas. That is where Hellish planet systems are there. And after Hellish planet system, the Bhumandala still remains for 1,000 yojanas. Below that, Shesha is there. So in Bhugola Varna, we discussed about 8 elephants, Shesha and Kurma, 3 of them together holding the entire Bhumandala. And all these people will take a space of 1 lakh yojanas. And below that, we have Garbhodaka ocean. That the depth of Garbhodaka ocean is 249.8 million yojanas. The width of the Bhumandala is about 1 lakh. And the space which is taken by Lord Shesha specifically is about another 1 lakh. So 250 million yojanas minus 2 lakh yojanas, that is 249.8, because sun is located in the middle of the universe. So in that way, so like this, Shesha is holding the entire Bhumandala. So 5th canto of Bhagavatam does not mention that there is Kurma who is giving support to Shesha in order to hold the entire Bhumandala. So just to give a reference to Kurma, that is there. So we have some references from Jayadeva Goswami Dashavatara Sutra. This is text number 2, which says, Kshitiriha Vipula Tare Tishtat Tava Prushte, Dharani Dharana Kina Chakra Gariste, Keshavadrita, Kurma Sharira, Jai Jagadisha Hare. In our Vaishnava songbook, if we see the translation of this particular verse, we see the translation is explained in terms of Samudra Manthan pastime. That Lord Kurma is holding Mandara mountain on his back, and it is churned by Devatas and Asuras, and eventually nectar came. So Lord appeared in the form of Kurma in order to assist the Devatas so that they will get nectar. Like that it is translated. But in the shloka, if you see, there is no mention about Mandara mountain, there is no mention about milk ocean, there is no mention about churning. This verse is actually indicating to Kshitiriha. This Kshiti, this earth, this Bhumandala, Vipula Tare Tishtati Tava Prushte. It is situated on your back, my dear Lord Kurma. Dharani Dharana Kina Chakra Gariste. Holding the entire Bhumandala on your back, the Bhumandala appears to be like a chakra, like the Sudarshan chakra. Because Bhumandala, we have circular rings of the 7 islands and 7 oceans. So everything looks like a beautiful chakra. Keshava Drita Kurma Sharira Jagadiki. O Lord Keshava, you have accepted the form of Kurma. Let me offer my obeisance unto you. So it's like that. And then in the 12th shloka of the same Dashavatara Sutra, Srila Jayadeva Goswami summarizes all the pastimes of all the 10 avatars, the 10 famous avatars. Vedan Uddarate, Jaganti Vahate, Bhugolam Udbruhate. So they are the first 3 avatars in which the Supreme Lord appears. The first one, Lord appeared as Matsya. So the understanding is that when the day of Brahma ends, the 14 planetary systems are kind of destroyed. Lord Brahma, taking all the living entities, enters into the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And the next day morning, the lotus appears. And when the lotus appeared, on top of the lotus, Lord Brahma appears. Simultaneously, from 2 water drops which fell from the one of the lotus leaf, lotus petal, there appears the 2 demons, Madhu and Kaitaba. In one kalpa, Madhu and Kaitaba appears. In another kalpa, higher grade demon appears. But basically, Madhu and Kaitaba we take. So then, when Brahma appeared on top of the lotus, he could not know. He forgot everything. He does not know what to do, what not to do. Then he was looking around. He heard two letters, Ta and Pa, and he was engaged in tapasya. So at that time, the four Vedas in their personified form, they were actually moving around Brahma when Brahma was in tapasya. So understanding that if Brahma gets this Vedic knowledge, so Brahma will be the creator and he will be the ultimate controller of the entire universe. Madhu and Kaitaba stole those Vedas and they went into Garbhodaka ocean. They hid themselves. Understanding what had happened, Garbhodaksha Vishnu appears as Lord Matsya and entering into Garbhodaka ocean, kills Madhu and Kaitaba, protects the Vedas from Madhu and Kaitaba. Then he takes the form of Lord Haigriva. And there in the Satyaloka, on top of the lotus where Brahma was performing tapasya, Lord Haigriva appears in front of Lord Brahma and gives the knowledge, the four Vedas to Brahma. By receiving the four Vedas from Lord Haigriva, Lord Brahma receives the entire knowledge of what to do and how to do. What kind of creation he needs supposed to do. You will get entire information. So that's what is mentioned in relation to Veda Nuddarate. So Lord Vishnu appearing as Matsya protects the four Vedas. And then Lord Brahma divides the entire lotus into 14 planetary systems: Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and 7 lower planetary systems, etc. Then he begins to create all the living entities such as plants, animals, reptiles, aquatics, reptiles, birds and bees, and human beings, and devatas, asuras, kinnaras, kimpurushas. At the end, he created Swayambhu Manu. And he requested Swayambhu Manu, my dear son, please go and take care of the Bhumandala and take care of the human beings. And Swayambhu Manu went down to see the Bhumandala, but Bhumandala is not there because Brahma became busy in creating the living entities. The Bhumandala fell down into Garbhodaka ocean. There was no support. So Manu reported to Brahma, my dear father, Bhumandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean. What should I do? So please do something to bring it back. So Brahma meditated for some time. He understood that Bhumandala fell down very deep into the Garbhodaka ocean. He cannot do anything. Then he prayed to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu then appeared as Shvetavaraha. Appearing as Shvetavaraha, he lifted the entire Bhugolam. Bhugolam Ud Bibrahate. He lifted the entire Bhumandala. So when the Bhumandala was lifted, then Lord Brahma prayed to Lord Varaha. So my dear Lord, you may lift it, but again it will fall down because there is no support below. So kindly do something in order to keep the Bhumandala intact. Then Lord Varaha transforms himself into Lord Kurma, and by becoming Kurma, he is floating in Garbhodaka ocean and holding the entire Bhumandala upon his back. That is Jaganti Vahate. He keeps the entire Bhumandala on his back. So that's how these three avatars are very much connected at the very beginning of the universal creation in relation to the Bhumandala. So it's like that. Laghu Bhavatamrita talks about the same pastime. Padme Proktam Dade Kshauni Mayam Evartita Sura. Padma Purana says that being requested by the Devatas and the great sages headed by Lord Brahma, the Supreme Lord appeared as Kurma and held the entire Prithvi, entire Bhumandala on his back. Dade Shauni Mayam Evartita Sura. Shasrantaretu Budari Kalpado Prakato Abhavat. And it also says that in other literatures it is said that by the request of the same Devatas, the Supreme Lord at the beginning of the Kalpa, that is during Swayambhu Manvantara period, held the entire Bhumandala on his back. Of course, during Chakshusha Manvantara also Bhumandala fell down into Garbhodaka ocean. That time when he was, by the request of the Devatas, when Lord Varaha was lifting the Bhumandala, Hiranyaksha came and Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha. Then all the Devatas came and offered the glorification of prayers of glorification unto Lord Varaha. That time they also requested him, kindly do something to hold the Bhumandala intact. Then Lord Varaha, that time it was Nila Varaha, transformed himself as Kurma and then started holding the entire Bhumandala from there on. Later on when Shesha appeared as the son of Kashyapa, he also came in between to hold the Bhumandala. Later on during Samudra Manthan pastime, when the 8 elephants also created, Brahma's request, they also came down to assist Kurma and Shesha to hold the Bhumandala. It's like that. Prayers offered by Arama. In the 18th chapter, the residents of Jambudvipa are offering prayers. Aryama is worshipping Lord Kurma, that we have seen in the previous sessions. Om Namo Bhagavate Akurupaya, Namo Avasthanaya Namaste. So let me offer my obeisance unto my Supreme Lord who appeared in the form of Kurma, in the form of a tortoise, and who is holding the entire universe, in the sense, Namo Avasthanaya, who is holding the entire Bhumandala on his back. So let me offer my obeisances unto you. So like that. So these are various references. We can understand that Kurma is there from the very beginning of the creation, holding the Bhumandala. In between, Shesha joins, and later on, the 8 elephants join. So it's like that. And some Vedic reference, some references from Bhagavatam about the 8 elephants. So it is mentioned as from the 8th canto, 8th chapter, verse number 5 talks about the appearance of the 8 elephants from Samudramanthan pastime. O king, thereafter the 8 great elephants of the directions headed by Airavana up were generated. 8 she elephants headed by Abramu were also generated. The names of the 8 elephants were Airavana, Pundarika, Vamana, Kumuda, Anjana, Pushpadanta, Sarvabhauma, and Supratika. And these 8 elephants, they went down to hold the entire Bhumandala. And there is another reference from the 10th canto, chapter 62, verse number 7 talks about the 8 elephants are actually there below the Bhumandala and holding the entire Bhumandala. So this pastime is all about Banasura. Banasura is having 1,000 arms. He became so powerful, and he was looking for a opponent with whom he can fight. So since he was not able to find an equal opponent, he was actually fighting with the mountains, ripping apart the mountains and fighting like that. So in his endeavor to find out a equal powerful opponent, he happens to reach Lord Shiva. And there to Lord Shiva, requesting Lord Shiva that I want to find a equal opponent, I could not find anywhere. I want to fight with you. Like that, he was talking to Lord Shiva. In that context, he is speaking this verse. Eager to fight with the elephants of the directions that hold up the bottom of the earth. O primeval Lord, I went forth pulverizing mountains with my arms, which were itching for battle. But even those great elephants fled in fear. Even these 8 elephants which are holding the entire Bhumandala, even when Banasura went there, they fled away. Even though they are very gigantic, they fled away out of fear of Banasura. So he says that I could not find anyone who can fight with me. I can see you only my equal opponent. I want to fight with you. That time Lord Shiva says that, so my dear son, don't worry, don't be in hurry. Very soon Krishna will come and fulfill your desire. He will remove your itch for fight, something like that he says. So like that. Anyway, we have also mentioned one more reference that previous from Ramayana, the 60,000 sons of Sagara Maharaj, when they were digging digging the entire Bhumandala for their last horse, the tunnel went down for 60,000 yojanas. Then they went in 8 directions. That is where they met these 8 elephants. And the 8 elephants told that, okay, in an enigmatic way, they given the directions. Then following those directions, they found the horse in Patala Loka, in the ashram of Lord Kapila. So that is also one more reference for the 8 elephants. So like that we can see, though 5th canto directly does not mention, but other places the references about these things are there. So that's how we have discussed about all different details that are mentioned in the 5th canto about the structure of our universe. We have discussed about 14 planetary systems, whatever details we could gather here and there. Bhumandala, Bhuvarloka, Svargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Above that, Vaikuntha Loka is there. And within Bhumandala, we have 7 lower planetary systems, Narakaloka, and Shesha, Kurma, Garbhodaka Ocean, etc. etc. So this is the picture of our entire universe. So you can see here. From surface of the Bhumandala to the moon, it is Bhuvarloka, moon to Dhruvaloka, Sargaloka, and then we have upper 4. So like that. Here also you can see same things in clear picture. So from the surface of the Bhumandala to all the way up to moon, this is called Bhuvarloka, whose width is about 2 lakh yojanas. So sun is here, moon is here, and here we have Rahu and Ketu, and other people are also there in this. Siddha Charana, Nadyadara Charanas, and Nikshatra, etc. And from moon all the way up to Dhruva Loka, we have Sarga Loka. See, from moon to Dhruva Loka is called Sarga Loka. Okay, so here we have 27 nakshatras: Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Saptarushis, Indra Loka, and Dhruva Loka. These are all part of Sarga Loka. Above which we have Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And within the Bhumandala we have Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Patal. And below that we have the white one is Pitruloka, and the brown the dots, the violet dots are all 28 Hellish planetary systems. And this is the entire Bhumandala. Below that Shesha is holding the Bhumandala, and this is the Bharatavarsha ocean. So these are all different details. And this is the picture made for our entire scripture. So the sun is exactly in the middle of the universe. With respect to sun, about 250 million yojanas, and with respect to sun, below 250 million yojanas. Out of 250 below said, 1 lakh is occupied by the Bhumandala, another 1 lakh is occupied by the Shesha. Here you see some empty space. That empty space is where Shesha is located and holding the entire Bhumandala. Then from here to bottom till here is the Bharatavarsha ocean. So it is like that. So till now we kind of discussed different places within our universe. So this is the picture with which we started our discussion. This is our universe consisting of 14 planetary systems. We have kind of briefly touched upon all these 14 planetary systems. So at the end of the 26th chapter, Sukadeva Goswami gives the conclusion of this entire section. The living entities move above and below and eventually come to earth. The impious go to hell, go through punishment, go through lower species, and eventually they take birth as the human beings in Bharatavarsha. The pious go to Swarga or Pitruloka, then they come down to Bhauma Swarga, and then eventually they come down to Bharatavarsha and take birth among the humans, etc. But even though some might go to hells, others might go to Swarga, eventually they will be brought back to Bharatavarsha. Here, Iha refers to Bharatavarsha by the remaining results of Dharma and Adharma. So they might spend their 99% of Dharma or Adharma either in hell or in the heaven, but with the remaining 1% they will take birth in the Bharatavarsha and continue their activities like that. Naraka Yamalaye Santi Adharma Vartino Ye Kechit. Some people who follow Adharma, they will be sent to Narakaloka, which is Yamalaya. It is abode of Yama. Tataiva Dharmanu Vartina Itaratra. Similarly, those people who follow Dharma will be sent to other places such as Pitruloka, Swargaloka, or Bhauma Swarga, etc. Ihatu Punar Bhaveta Ubaya Sheshabhyam Nivisanti. But ultimately, with the remaining amount of Dharma and Adharma, they will be brought back to Bharatavarsha. Iha refers to here. Here corresponding to the place where Sukadeva Goswami is speaking Bhagavatam to Parishit Maharaj. So there, Iha means unto this Bharatakanda or unto this Bharatavarsha, something like that. Because Bharatavarsha is the place where one can accumulate more Dharma and more Adharma and then eventually attain respective destinations. And Bharatavarsha is a special place where one can easily get liberation, easily go to Vaikunta. So this is the special prerequisite or USP of this Bharatavarsha, which is very difficult to attain in other places. So pious people go to heavens, impious people will go to hells, but eventually one is brought to Bharatavarsha, and especially within Bharatavarsha to Bharatakanda. And within Bharatakanda, the Bharatavbhumi is so special where Sanatana Dharma is still intact and one can easily practice and easily attain perfection. So in that way. So this is how the connection is shown. Why Bharatavarsha is special in awarding one liberation or sending one back to Godhead and the fruits of one's endeavor. So here I have got some examples. So I don't have any scriptural references, but as per my thinking, I have put some examples so we can understand the glorious position of Bharatavarsha. So when Bhrugumuni entered into Vaikunta and kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu begged forgiveness from Bhrugumuni. But seeing all these things, Mother Lakshmi did not do anything, that Bhrugumuni kicking on the chest of Lord Vishnu. So she thought that Bhrigu committed a great offense, and by not saying anything, I also took part in it. In order to atone for her offense, she came down to Kolhapur to perform austerities and atone for offense. And searching after Mother Lakshmi, Lord Vishnu also came down to Tirumala hills, and there he began to perform austerities in order to pacify Lakshmi, something like that. And at one point of time, Lord Brahma wanted to have the darshan of the virginal personality of Godhead, the Mahavishnu, or Garbhodaksha Vishnu or Hyodaksha Vishnu. He wanted to have darshan of the virginal personality of Godhead. So then the Vedas personified told Brahma that if you have to have darshan of Lord Vishnu, you need to perform 1000 Ashwamedha sacrifices in Brahmaloka. But that takes a lot of time. So if you want to have darshan very quickly, you can go to Kanchipuram. There, by performing one Ashwamedha Yajna, you can have darshan of Mahavishnu. So Brahmaji came to Kanchipuram. There he performed one Ashwamedha Yajna, as a result of which he had the darshan of Mahavishnu in the form of Varadaraj. And at one point of time, Garuda was hearing the Krishna Katha, Hari Katha or Vishnu Katha. So the sages were speaking the pastime of Lord Narsingadev. Lord Narsingadev appearance from the pillar and killing Hiranyaksha and blessing Prahlad Maharaj, etc. The entire pastime lasted for a couple of minutes, couple of muhurtas only, not long pastime. Lord appeared quickly and is killed, had a fight and killed him, made Prahlad the king and disappeared after accepting his prayers, something like that. The entire pastime, first time Garuda heard, because whenever Lord Vishnu appears, Garuda always accompanies. But in the pastime of Lord Narsingha, Garuda was not there. After hearing this entire pastime, Garuda said that, I have seen all the different avatars of the Supreme Lord. Even when Lord Rama's avatar, though Garuda was not there with him from the very beginning, but he is there. He took part in the pastimes, somewhere in between he came. So especially when Lord Ram was fighting along with Meghanath, along with Lakshan with Meghanath. So at one point of time, both Rama and Lakshman were bound by Nagasra. Then Garuda comes and simply smoothly touches both Ram and Lakshman. The Nagasra is released and they become conscious. Like that, every pastime Garuda is there, but in this pastime he is not there. So then he requested the same sages who are speaking that Katha, Narasimha Swami Katha. Then they told that if you want to have darshan of Lord, you need to perform great austerities. Then he said that I want to get darshan very quickly. Then they requested him to go to Srishela mountains in Bharatakanda. So Garuda came here at a place known as Ahobilam. There he performed severe tapasya for small time. Then immediately Narasimhadev appeared in front of him and displayed the whole pastime of killing Hiranyaksha and blessing Prahlad. Then Garuda requested, somehow or other I performed this austerity and I could see everything, the pastime you performed. But I want the people in general also get the benefit of witnessing your pastimes. So I request you to remain here. So by the request of Garuda, Lord Narsingadev manifested himself in that Ahobilam mountains in various forms like that Koda Narasimha, Varada Narasimha and different forms, Karanja Narasimha, etc. Different forms Lord Narsingadev appeared. They are all by the request of Garuda himself. And Daksha, who is the direct son of Lord Brahma, who is supposed to stay in Swargaloka, but when he wanted to perform a yajna, he chose the place in the Himalayas. So that is where he performed yajna so that he will get results very quickly, something like that. And then Bhagirath Maharaj also did tapasya in the upper Himalayas in order to bring Ganga down all the way up to Patala Loka so that his ancestors can be liberated. And that is where he also performed tapasya to please Lord Shiva. And by the cooperation of Lord Shiva and Ganga, Ganga comes down to Patala Loka and delivers his forefathers. And we discussed this pastime some time back when Katvanga Maharaj was assisting the Devatas in order to fight with Asuras. Eventually, when the Devatas got Kartikeya, who was the son of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, to kill Tarakasura, the Devatas requested Katvanga Maharaj, so my dear sir, please retreat from the battle. Now we have got our commander-in-chief and he will do the needful. So you please ask whatever benefit you, whatever blessing you want. Then Katvanga Maharaj asked that how much time I have in my life. They said 1 or 2 muhurtas only. Then Katvanga Maharaj requested them to send him to Bharatavarsha, his own kingdom. He was brought here and within that 1 muhurta time, by meditating on Lord Vishnu, his Ishtadev, he went back to Godhead. That he could do here. He could have done in the heaven only, but he did not ask for that in the heaven. but he wanted to come here and do that. And Narana Rishis are performing tapasya in the upper Himalayas for the benefit of the people of the Bharatavarsha especially, and for the benefit of the people in the entire universe in general. So Narana Rishi, the son of Murti and I think Dharma and Murti. Murti is the 13th daughter of Daksha, who had 16 daughters at the time. Who, after marrying Prasuti, the daughter of Swayambhava Manu, he begot 16 daughters. The 13th daughter was given in marriage to Dharma, and they begot Narana Rishis. And from the very beginning of the current day, they are performing tapasya. And whenever Devatas or Asuras are cursed, they will come to this Bharatavarsha to atone their curse. They perform severe austerities here and atone their curse very easily. And comes to our current situation, whenever we go on pilgrimage, especially this is what I heard. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, whenever he takes the devotees to pilgrimage place. So whether we go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Srirangam, Tirumala, or Haridwar, Rishikesh, Ayodhya, wherever we go, every time he says that this is the best among all the holy places. Whatever we do at our respective places, whatever little we do here, it is 1,000 times better than whatever we do at our respective places. So that indirectly indicates that every holy place here has the potency 1,000 times more than other general places in Bharatavarsha. Similarly, Bharatavarsha itself has 1,000 times more potency in comparison to other places in the entire universe. That's how even people like all the way up Brahma and Mother Lakshmi also come down to Bharatavarsha in order to get quick benefit. So that is the glorious position of this Bharatavarsha. And finally, Sukadeva Goswami says, this amazing grass body of the Lord, whatever universe that we have discussed till now, consisting of 14 planetary systems, consisting of the Bhumandala, the different Dvipas, Varshas, rivers, mountains, sky and oceans, the lower planetary systems, the directions, the hellish planetary systems, the upper planetary systems, and the luminaries. Luminaries refers to Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka and Sargaloka. He is the shelter of all living entities. So basically, this entire universe is nothing but the grass universal form of the Supreme Lord, which gives the shelter to all the variety of living entities. It's like that. And then, so why Sukadeva Goswami is speaking all these things? This is an answer to the Parikshit Maharaj's inquiry. In the beginning, he said that if one reads the descriptions of Lord's external form, okay, of course, this is Falashruti. So, if one reads the description of the Lord's external form with great faith, if one hears about it or explains it to others, he develops faith, he develops bhakti, he develops pure intelligence, so that he understands the topic of the Supreme Lord, which is like an Upanishad, which is very difficult to understand. The subject matter of the fifth canto is very difficult to understand, which is like a great Upanishad. But if one makes an endeavor to read it, makes one an endeavor to hear it or to explain it to others with faith, that person will understand it. In addition to that, one will develop faith in the Supreme Lord, will develop pure intelligence, and ultimately will develop bhakti for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because hearing about the grass form, hearing about the grass universal form leads the controlled mind by the intelligence to the Lord's grass form. So this is meant for the yogis who have little contamination, who cannot see the Paramatma in the core of their heart. They were recommended to hear about the grass universal form and meditate upon the grass universal form, so that they will focus on that. And similarly, hearing about the subtle form, the subtle universal form, that leads the controlled mind by the intelligence to Lord's subtle form. That those yogis who, by hearing about the nature of Paramatma, they will able to meditate on the subtle form of the Supreme Lord as Paramatma. Similarly, hearing about Bhagavan, which is transcendental form, that hearing about the transcendental form leads to the meditation on the form of the Bhagavan. When we hear about Lord's form, about pastimes of Nama Rupa Gunala Bhagavan, we can focus on Lord's form. So something like that. Whatever we hear, that is what we can meditate upon. So that is the whole idea. So at the end, so we have mentioned in the beginning also Mayam varnayutamusha ishwarasya anumodata shrunvato shraddhaya nityam maya atmanamuyati. So when we hear these creation pastimes of the Supreme Lord, so we understand that how creation is done, how the universe is maintained, so that we become careful while executing our activities in this material world. So we will not develop desire to go to Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Sargaloka, this loka, that loka. Instead, we can focus on bhakti and try to go back to Godhead. So with that purpose, just like the universe has been created by Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord also created our body consisting of buddhi, indriya, mana, prana, etc. So that we can fulfill all our desires, enjoying the 5 tanmatras in one lifetime. If you are not done with that, we can go to different species, go to different place here and there, as mentioned, the entire universe, and then fulfill our desires. And once that is done, we can endeavor to go back to Godhead. So the universe has been created with this lot of variety in order to accomplish these 3 purposes of Jiva. Providing enjoyment to the Jiva, whether it is in one life species or in multiple life species, life forms, and eventually when that is done, providing all the facilities so that Jiva can endeavor to go back to Godhead. Atmane Kalpanacha. So these are the various things, the various purposes with which the Supreme Lord has created this wonderful universe with lot of variety, with lot of distinctions, and a lot of wonderful facilities. So in one sense, all the upper planetary systems except Bharatavarsha are almost heavenly, and the lower planetary systems, though in spite of having a lot of facilities in 7 lower planetary systems, their consciousness are so hellish, and Narakaloka is anyway hellish, grossly, subtly. And in the Bhumandala, except Bharatavarsha, all other places are Bhauma Swargas. Only Bharatavarsha is Karma Bhumi. That is where there is a special facility for practicing bhakti and going back to Godhead. Since all of us are already in Bharatavarsha, so this canto of Bhagavatam is indicating that instead of performing piety and going to Swarga, instead of performing impiety and going to Naraka, just practice bhakti and go back to Godhead. That is what the people all over the universe are doing. So understanding about them, hearing from them, so we need to take up bhakti very seriously. So that was the intention of Sukadeva Goswami speaking all these chapters with some of the details of the entire universe. So who is staying where and what they are doing, etc. So Hare Krishna. So that is about the description about the lower planetary systems and Hellish planetary systems and Shesha, etc. So any questions based on the discussion till now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful sessions. And I really like the importance of Bharat Bhumi, and I really appreciate your efforts. And there's so many references. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And Anuradha Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. Such a wonderful class. Prabhu, I have a few questions. So the first one is between the 2 Varaha Dev you mentioned. When was Narakasur born, Prabhu? Do we have information?
When he was born, I don't know, but he was there till the pastime of Lord Krishna. So it is said that during Chakshusha Manvantara, when Bhumandala fell down into Garbhodaka ocean, that time Lord Varaha appeared in the Neela Varaha. He lifted the Bhumandala. That was the time Hiranyaksha obstructed him and Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha, etc. So later on, eventually after that pastime, it is said that Mother Bhumi gave birth to Narakasura, and he was there all the way up to Lord Krishna's pastime, and he was killed by Lord Krishna himself, being requested by Satyabhama.
So you said during Chakshusha Manvantara?
Yes. Most probably after that pastime of lifting the Bhumandala, during Chakshusha Manvantara, Narakasura was born.
Okay, and what is the name of the previous Varahadev, then the one who came to first when Brahma's instruction to take?
First one was Shweta Varaha.
Okay.
During Swayambhu Manvantara, it was Shweta Varaha. During Chakshusha Manvantara, it was Neela Varaha. And after killing Hiranyaksha, his entire body was filled with blood. So he appeared like Rakta Varaha. is also called as Raktavara because of that.
The same Nila Varaha, right?
Same Nila Varaha.
Okay. Prabhu, I have a little doubt about the Pitriloka. Once what I understood was it's in the moon, and then again, when we saw the entire picture, there also the Pitriloka was down. I got a little confused. Prabhu, can you take us back to that again?
There are 4 categories of Pitrus known as Saumyas, Ajyapas, Barishadas, and Agishwatas. Saumyas and Ajyapas reside in the moon planet. The moon planet is called actually the main Pitraloka. The 2 categories of Pitrus actually reside in the moon planet. The other 2 categories of Pitrus known as Agishwatas and Barishadas, they stay here in the central dot in the Yamaloka. There is a Pitraloka. The understanding is that, see, for example, in our judiciary, we have a court. In the court, judges there, lawyers are there, and so many other officials are there. They are all working. There is a court, and there are quarters for all the employees, for the judge, for the lawyers. There are government quarters. So they are all staying there. And the judgment will be given in the court, and later on they will be taken to, the sinful people are taken to, the criminals will be taken to jail, where the punishment is given. So the court is like the Yamaraja's court, where judgment is given. The quarters of Yamaraj and all his associates is like Pitraloka, where Yamaraj is also staying in one bungalow and others are staying in other different bungalows. That is the Pitraloka. That is also there in the same place. And the other side, there is a big jail where punishment is awarded. They are like different hellish planetary systems. So like that we can see. So there is a second category of Pitraloka. So there Yamaraj is staying there. So those people who perform more piety, they will go to Divyasvarga. Somewhat medium piety, they will go to Pitraloka. Somewhat less piety, they will go to this Pitraloka here. Something like that we can say.
Okay, Prabhu. And then coming back, I had asked it before. I don't know if I missed it. Forgive me if I am. You said you will explain about the Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, the sun going up and down. Is it still due, or you have already?
Yeah, that is 4th part of our presentation.
Okay,
so
okay, Prabhu.
We'll see.
I didn't want to miss.
If our coordinators organize few more classes, we'll do that.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There are some questions in chat box, Prabhuji. Shall I read it out, Prabhuji?
Okay. I will read for myself. Okay. He says that Srimad Bhagavatam 5:17-21 describes why is Sankarshana called as Ananta, but at the same time, why he is called as Shesha. So he has got different names. Shesha, Ananta, and Sankarshana, they are all like synonym to each other. Same person having different names. So according to the context, he is called different names. It is all say for same person only. The next question. I did not understand that moon is deity of mind and Pradyumna is the presiding deity. Why 2 controllers? What is the difference in their roles? So these are not 2 controllers. The moon is the controlling deity of the mind. The moon is the immediate responsible person for overlooking the functions of the minds of each one of us. He is the responsible person. Just like Indra is responsible for the function of our hands, Surya is responsible for the function of our eyes, the moon is responsible for the function of our mind. But since these 4 elements, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana, are subtle elements, they also have worshipable deities. So the worshipable deity for the mind is, I think, Aniruddha. It's not Pradyumna. For intelligence, it is Pradyumna. For mind, it is Aniruddha. So Aniruddha for the mind, Pradyumna for the intelligence, and Sankarshana for the Ahankara, and Vasudeva for the Chetana. So these are the upper level. So that is the understanding.
Hare Krishna, Gaurangi Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, actually, I had the exact same question, but I do need to follow up on your answer. So when you say that the worshipable deity of the mind is, for example, Aniruddha, right? Does that mean that I'm not sure what that means. Is it that the moon god is supposed to worship Aniruddha, or are we supposed to worship Aniruddha, or what does that mean?
Moon god also worships Aniruddha, and we are expected to worship Aniruddha so that we can be freed from the anomalies of the mind. We can be freed from the malfunction of the mind. Just like in the previous slide, it is mentioned that if you want to get freed from the anomalies of Ahankara, that me and mind conception, we were recommended to worship Lord Sankarshana. So in that way.
And similarly, if let's say we're having some malady of the eyes, we should worship Surya Dev then. Okay, but now as bhaktas, is it that we don't need to do any of those things? We just need to chant Hare Krishna?
Yes. See, these are all different aspects working at different levels. So as devotees, we are serving Lord Krishna. We are serving Lord Krishna's representatives. As Bhagavatam says, Yata taror mula nisheshanena tripyanti satkanda bhujopashaka pranopaharacha tatendriyanam tataiva sarvarhana achyuteja. Just like water in the root nourishes the entirety, feed in the stomach nourishes the entire body, and worshipping Krishna takes care of the worship of all the devatas. So that is automatically taken care. But specifically, if somebody is too much troubled by one particular bodily limb, so as a temporary relief, they are recommended to worship those particular deities. So in that way. So that can be done occasionally. There is no harm in that. There is no problem in that.
Okay. I guess you would do that too if you feel like you just cannot tolerate whatever is going on in any particular part of the body. You want some more immediate kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, another question is concerning Lord Shiva and the 11 Rudras. I mean, I asked this once before, but something you said today confused me again. So is it that the 11 Rudras are in addition to Lord Shiva, or what is the relationship actually? Is it 11? Does Lord Shiva, does that make 12, or I'm trying to understand this relationship?
So there is Vishnu in the spiritual world. He comes down to material world in order to perform various pastimes in various avatars. All the avatars are there in the spiritual world who are expansions of Lord Vishnu, and they come down and perform austerities, perform different pastimes. Similarly, there is Sadashiva in between the material world and spiritual world. In the Brahman area, Sadashiva is there, who is guarding the entire spiritual world. And that Sadashiva appears within our material universe as 11 Rudras with a special service. The main service of the 11 Rudras is to destroy the universe at the end of Brahma's day. So if we study Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 12. So first Brahma created the 4 Kumaras and requested them to get married and beget children. They said, no, we will not. Brahma became angry. From that anger appeared 11 Rudras. And Lord Brahma told 11 Rudras, please beget children. The 11 Rudras also begot sons who are also like Rudras. So they began to devour everything that Brahma had created. Even in fact, they came to Brahma to eat Brahma because they were so hungry. So Brahma requested the 11 Rudras, my dear sir, please don't do such kind of creation. Please stop. Such kind of Rudras are only required at the end of our, at the end of the day of Brahma, at the end of my day when the universe has to be annihilated. So till then keep quiet and try to perform tapasya, austerities. Try to do meditation in Lord's lotus feet. That will do good for you and good for everyone. So since then, the 11 Rudras are engaged in performing meditation, the severe tapasya, so that it can bring about good for the entire universe. So these 11 Rudras are located in 11 different places. We have discussed about 4 of them. One is living in the Tapaloka, one is in Bharatavarsha, one is in the greater Himalayas, one is in Vitaraloka. So the one who is in the greater Himalayas is called as Shiva. Among the 11 Rudras, Shiva is one among 11, and who is called Shiva. He appears again and again in various pastimes that we read in the Bhagavatam and other Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So sometimes other Rudras are also called as Shiva, or they can be called with different names. But Shiva is like same name for everyone. Like Krishna is called as Vasudeva, Vasudeva is called as Krishna. It's like interchangeably they are used. So there is no distinction. So there are 11 Rudras. They are at the same time same, and at the same time they are different. Like all the avatars are same Vishnu only, but similarly they are same or different also. Some Achinta Beda, something like that. So like that we have to understand the relationship between the Rudras and Shiva.
Okay, so before you explained about the 11 Rudras that came from Lord Brahma's forehead and anger, you mentioned Sadashiva, right?
Yes.
Who stays in the Brahman effulgence area, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that Sadashiva has, should we say, has nothing at all to do with the 11 Rudras?
No, that Sadashiva appears as 11 Rudras in the material world. Just like Lord Vishnu from the spiritual world appears as different avatars here, Sadashiva appears as 11 Rudras to do some service in this material world.
Okay. And this Sadashiva, how about the relationship between Sadashiva and Vishnu's glance, Karnadakashayi Vishnu's glance? Any relationship there?
I mentioned some time back that glance of Mahavishnu carries three things: Kala, Karma, Subhava. That Kala transformed himself as Sadashiva. That Kala is called as generally Mahakala. So that Mahakala transformed himself as Kala, the Lord Sadashiva, who is also called as Mahakala Purusha, Kala Bhairava, Mahakal. So like the different names are there for him. So the Kala, the time itself transformed as Sadashiva. They are non-different from each other.
Oh, okay. And you said there's the third item of that glance. I can never understand the word that you're saying. There's Kala.
Karma, Swabhava. Karma and Swabhava.
Oh, Swabhava, that's the karma that we're carrying, right?
Yes. Karma of all the jivas together and Swabhava of all the jivas together.
Oh, Swabhava, actually, that's the nature, the material nature of each living entity.
No. There the Swabhava is about our individual nature. I have a particular nature, you have a particular nature. Nature means disposition.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, so Vishnu's glance carries, let's say, expansion of Sadashiva, time. No. Kala is an expansion of Sadashiva.
No, not like that. Okay. Sadashiva is the expansion of Kala.
Not the other way around?
Yeah, Lord Vishnu's glance carries Kala, Karma, Swabhava. Kala expands itself in the form of Sadashiva, who is known as Mahakala Purusha or Mahakal or Kala Bhairava. It's like the different names are there for him.
So Sadashiva, who resides in the, let's say, the Brahman effulgence there, that's an expansion of Kala?
Yes, that's an expansion of Kala.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhu, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. One last thing. Why? I got confused also about this part where you were trying to clarify this point about Srila Prabhupada saying that Ananta Shesh holds the universe rather than the Bhumandala. So why is it that Srila Prabhupada is saying that
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Many places all over the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada always says that the Shesha holding the entire universe. That's how our ISKCON paint is made. But if you literally see, Shesha is actually holding the Bhumandala, not the universe. All the universes are floating in the Karana ocean. That is also clearly mentioned in the Bhagavatam Canto 2 and Canto 3.
And when TOVP is going to do this planetarium, they will show Ananta as holding Bhumandala.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There are a couple of queries in the chat box. So let us see. Okay, these are some. Okay. Is the universe resting on anyone or floating as we see in pics? Yeah, it is floating on the Karna ocean. Just now we mentioned. It is not holding held by Lord Shesha, but since the universe is floating in the Karna ocean. Okay. Any other questions from any other devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada, very wonderful session. Prabhuji, I have a question. So, Prabhuji, you were talking about how people attain based on their impious karma, they go down to the hellish planets, and pious karma, they go to the heavenly planet or the other different lokas. But it is all within this universe, right? So when one becomes a devotee, you mentioned that according to the Sri Sampradaya, there is one philosophy, and the Gaudiya Sampradaya has a different philosophy, that we would go into a different universe, serve the Lord there, and then we would be able to go back to the spiritual world. Is there a possibility of the devotees continuing to remain within this universe also?
Sorry, Mataji, I don't have any answer for that. That depends between the desire of the devotee and the reciprocation of the Supreme Lord. It is between them. So, as a matter of fact, I just mentioned that Sri Vaishnavas will explain like this, and we hear like this with our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. How exactly happens beyond my purview, I do not know. You can approach some senior devotees. They may have answer for that question.
Okay, Prabhuji. Also, Prabhuji, you were talking about, thank you so much. You were talking about Ananta Shesh holding the Bhumandala only on one of his hoods.
Yes.
Right? But he has thousands of hoods.
You see the picture? He has so many hoods, but only one hood they are holding the Bhumandala.
Okay. Okay. Because the other representation where on each of his hoods he's holding a different universe. That was what I had in my mind. But thank you for that.
That needs to be corrected. That is not right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There are a couple more questions in the chat.
Okay. So the place where Lord Sadashiva lives is Kailash. That is also called Kailash, because wherever Lord Vishnu stays, that is Vaikuntha. Wherever Lord Shiva stays, that is Kailash. So there is no problem. We can say like that. Or the place where Lord Shiva lives in Himalaya is also Kailash. Wherever Lord Shiva is there, what to speak of all that? Even if we have a temple of Lord Shiva in our vicinity, the temple also can be called as Kailash. Just like Prabhupada says, all ISKCON temples are Vrindavan because Lord Krishna's deity is there. That's how it becomes Vrindavan. And wherever Lord Rama's deity is there, that becomes Ayodhya. That is very simple. No need to have any confusion about it. So next question. You mentioned Bhumandala. You mean Ananta Shesha is holding only the earth which we are in? So Prabhuji, my dear Prabhuji, please kindly understand that. Okay, Mataji. So we are talking about the entire Bhumandala. I have put the picture also. The Shesha is holding the entire Bhumandala. In this Bhumandala, we are at one place, that is a small dust particle in the Bhumandala. Lord Shesha is holding the entire Bhumandala, within which the Bharatakanda is a small dust particle. So that is understanding. Okay, Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this is with regard to one of your previous sessions, if it is okay to ask.
Okay.
So you had mentioned that all the holy places within, say, Bharat Khanda is not exactly the place where the actual pastimes happened as described in the Puranas or in the Vedic literatures, but it's actually kind of a replica. So how do we understand? Does the same rule apply to Vrindavan also, or Vrindavan is as good as?
No, Prabhuji, I have not mentioned that. I have said that all those holy places that we talk about in the Himalayas, which are in the northern boundary of India, they are replicas of the original pastime place in the greater Himalayas. That I said, not in the entire Bharatavarsha, only in the Himalayas, not everywhere.
So the places like say Ayodhya or Ahobilam, they are all the actual places where the pastimes happened?
Ahobilam, not Ahobilam. Ahobilam we discussed. Ahobilam, the place where our Garuda performed tapasya because the Lord manifested. The entire pastime of Narsingadev actually happened in the Sargaloka, Indra's abode. But when it comes to Vrindavan and when it comes to Ayodhya, they are the actual places where the pastimes actually happened. Lord Ram was living in Ayodhya and performed pastimes. Mayapur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. Vrindavan, Krishna was there. Vrindavan, Madhura Dwarka, Krishna was there. So these are the actual places.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes actually happened in Mayapur, then Krishna's pastimes also actually happened in Vrindavan, and Lord Rama's pastimes also happened in Ayodhya. So like that we can go back.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Makes sense. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So Hare Krishna. It is now 7:25. Are there any questions from any other devotees? Or we are done with all the queries?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think there are no more questions.
So we'll stop here for today. So if there are no questions. So before closing, so whatever we have discussed till now, anyway, all the classes are recorded. They are available as recorded videos in your respective Bhakti Japa Sangha channel. So devotees can refer back to those videos whenever you want. So before that, I also recorded all these slides and they were put into a channel, YouTube channel known as Bhagavata Cosmology. There also you can find all these presentations, even much more than this, what we are discussing, much more than that also added in that section. The application of this cosmology understanding and in our day-to-day practical usage in terms of calendar, panchanga, such kind of examples are explained there. And also how to reconcile the modern understanding of the heliocentric theory with the geocentric theory of Bhagavatam, that those things are also mentioned there, etc. And whatever we are discussing is also published in the form of a book known as Bhagavata Cosmology. Those who want to get more details, whatever we are discussing is also elaborate, but the book contains much more information. Taking reference from other Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. You can refer to that book, Bhagavata Cosmology. So for your further pursuit of the subject matter, though it seems very technical and very difficult to understand, but we need to put little endeavor. If you see from the modern context, the scientists are working hard for the last 2,500 years. At least that much we have in the recorded history. The scientists might be working much before than that only, but at least for the last 2,500 years history we have. Starting with Aristotle, Plato, the people who are working on understanding the cosmos, etc., etc. They have spent so much time. Even today also, research is going on in that regard. So we devotees and Bhagavatam takes greater efforts to describe these topics in the 2nd canto, 3rd canto, 5th canto, talking about the creation and structure of the universe. So let us give some time to understand what is being said and why it is being said. So understanding the subject matter is nowhere a loss to us. It is always a gain to us. As Krishna says, Neha Bikramanasu Nahashoti Pradyavayana Vidyate. It is always a great gain to us, not a loss. We may not read regularly, but whenever we read once in a while, so let us give our heart to it and try to understand it, though it is technical. By doing little hard work, we'll understand it. The outside scientists are working hard day and night and giving their entire life dedicated to it. and they are figuring out something and trying to propose so many theories, this, that, etc., etc. Every day the theories are being improved much more, better. So we as the followers of Bhagavatam should also try to understand what is being said in the Bhagavatam and help others understand what is said in the Bhagavatam. So there are the couple of words I would like to say before closing. So don't worry, even if you don't understand many things right now, this is the first time you are exposed to the subject matter. By little bit endeavor, little bit hard work, by revisiting and reading and rereading, you will get it with more enhanced understanding. So that is only my suggestion from my side. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, just before you go, I'm terribly fascinated by this subject, but I feel a little bit conflicted because I feel like I'm absorbing myself so much in Krishna's material manifestation. I know you've addressed this before, but I guess I need repetition. How can we feel comfortable or justified in absorbing ourselves so much in this subject matter when we are told that we should be focused on transcendence?
It is a simple fact that we hear Lord Vishnu is responsible for the maintenance of our universe. So this is Lord Vishnu's service to the entire community of Jivas in the material world. By providing different facilities for a different category of living entities, he is maintaining all of us. And it is not at all wrong, and it is not at all something out of our scope of devotional service to try to understand the subject matter about the nature of the universe, structure of the universe, and what kind of facilities are there, what kind of people are there, etc., etc. When we know it properly, we are we are aware where we are, and by doing what is awaiting for us, etc., etc., so that we will take bhakti more seriously. So whatever other thing we may do, we may go to some of the places in the universe, here or there, but by doing bhakti, one can go back home back to Godhead. That conviction we should get, and our conviction should enhance by understanding the subject matter. So that is my little understanding.
So basically, it's a way to, by knowing the intricacies of this world, we can become more determined to avoid getting ensnared in the various parts of this world.
Yeah,
is the idea.
We become more aware, and hence we become more determined to practice bhakti and go back home back to Godhead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one request. Do you have them in Telugu language, Prabhuji? Bhagavata Cosmology? Because
no, it is not available in any other vernacular languages. As of now, we only have in English.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning, and such a wonderful sessions. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And let us all pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Lalitangi Mataji, do you have a question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. I think this is the first time in this forum a speaker has come continuously for 15 sessions and presented the whole thing. I know it is research of many years, your time and effort, and we are doing nothing, just hearing. So this much we can understand that, we are so indebted to saints and sages who have done the work, and you are helping us to access that work from our perspective and knowledge. By just reading on our own repeatedly, it is impossible, Prabhuji. What you have done is very unique, and you have helped us, given us a helping hand to understand these. So we hope to be of some contribution, which is very unique, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, before you leave, I just wanted to know, where can we buy Vedic Cosmology? You mentioned, right? There's a book.
So in our temple, we have a publisher known as Tulasi Books. Tulasibooks.com is their website. And generally they will provide for all our ISKCON temples within India. For abroad, I don't know what is the procedure. So maybe a bulk order they may send a bulk order directly. Individual orders they may not entertain because the travel transport cost will be more than the book cost.
Are you the author? Who is the author, Prabhu?
Sorry, actually there is no author. I only compiled taking reference from Ramayana.
Prabhuji is the one, Mataji. I have that book, and I think Charlotte, ISKCON of Charlotte has the book if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to get
Yeah, Sureshwar Sham Prabhu has the.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Okay. So thank you very much for giving me this
Thank
opportunity.
you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your valuable time and explaining so nicely to us, going as per our knowledge and our understanding. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. We are very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji. One Mataji was telling me that can we give Dakshina to Prabhuji? Because without Dakshina, it will not, it's like Palashruti will not fulfill everything. So you completed the whole session. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very grateful to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktavrinda ki jai.
Yeah, devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha His Grace Pavaneshwar Prabhu ji ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. For all your efforts, for your time, and
thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So beautiful. Your
Hare
service
Krishna,
is
Prabhuji.
incredible.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so
For
much,
everything
Prabhuji.
and for your
Hare
patience
Krishna.
with
Very, very
us.
grateful.